Alright guys, what's going on? It's your boy Omega from Omega's Gaming. Back at it again with another ESO video. Um, Today I'm going to do my Magic Templar setup. Um, Big get requests to make my Magic Templar build. Um, I mostly play Magic Templar and um, Dragon Knight. My Dragon Knight video got some decent views, so we're going to go ahead and unleash this beast. I didn't want to put it in here in the first place just because of how it is, but we'll go ahead and do it anyways. So as usual, I'm going to go over my gear set, CP, rotation, explain my rotation a little bit and why it works. So starting off, let's go ahead and leave this group real quick. That way, everything's not in my way. Okay, so start off with the gear sets. I'm running 5 Clever Alchemist, 5 Heavy Clever Alchemist. It's actually a heavy armor build. I know people are going to complain about that, but you'll see. So 5 Clever Alchemist, 5 War Maiden, and then on my main DPS bar I have 2 Torix Pact, 1 Sharpened, 1 Nirnhoned, and just a Restoration Staff. I have a Defending Maelstrom Staff, which is what I would rather use. Just haven't put it on here yet. And I am missing some enchants. Like, these are all healthy enchants, and it's not necessarily what I want on here, because I want to bring my magic up a little bit, so it's not perfect, but the stats are still pretty broken. Go ahead and take a look at how I do my CP. We'll go 49 in Elemental. Once again, we're following the way champion points round down, so try to keep it to the lowest hold number. I don't have any into Elfborn because since I'm wearing heavy armor, my crit isn't that high, so it really doesn't matter. Most of my stuff is into Spell Pen, so I still get that high spell penetration even wearing heavy armor, which actually does help out a lot. Master at Arms, we do the direct damage, 19%, and then Thaumaturge. The reason Thaumaturge, direct, and magic, because technically your biting jabs are magic. They're a direct damage ability, and they're a dot. They're a channel ability, so it kind of gets a triple buff. Crit resist, add 1200 crit resist. We'll see how high we can get that. 9% from the direct damage. Direct damage is actually pretty stacked. Thick skin, 10%, 11, 11. Defending from the light and heavy attacks, 12%. Siphoner, I put 10. I wonder why it's doing that shit. Alright, that's away. Siphoner, I have 10. 100 into Arcanist and Tenacity, just because I want to get as much back as I can from the heavy attacks, because I don't really have regen, since I'm in heavy armor. But because of your heavy armor passives, you're able to magic and stamina with your heavy attacks. You get 25% more. And a Resto Staff, which is why I run the Resto, gives you the most magic back from the heavy attack. So you get a lot of magic back from this, and then your passive at the same time. Okay. So skills wise, my back bar is my Resto bar. I have Restoring Focus. I use this to make myself a little bit more tanky, as if I'm not tanky enough already. You can never be too tanky. This gives me Minor Mending, and they also take a little bit of damage in there. And it helps my allies use the Purify. Breath of Life, expensive, but that's why it's on the back bar, so that I can, heavy resto, get magic back, cast it, good to go. Vampire's Bane. This gives me a little bit more spell crit on my back bar, but when you combo it with this gives you your major sorcery, and because of your passives with this, where's it at? Here, you get your minor sorcery for your 5% here. So a lot of people don't know that, but when you cast this, you could get your minor and major right here on your back bar. So I've just cast this into this because when you do your Mages Guild, when you have it all the way here, it'll do 20% more damage. So you're here, it increases by 20%. If you look, it's a pretty good dot. Um, and it drops their movement speed. So this combos really well. This is how I start off every single fight. Is I'm always riding around on my resto bar so that I can just instantly buff and heal or do whatever is needed. My back bar, ultimate wise, I'm using the resto ultimate just because it's really good. I don't have it morphed yet, but it's good and it's cheap and it can help you in a pinch, especially when you're wearing heavy armor. Front bar where my dual swords are, I have my toppling charge. This interrupts them no matter what. It's fantastic. I have my puncturing sweeps, which is our spammable. We're going to use it all the time. Plus, it gives us a little bit of healing. I actually don't use purifying light. I was testing that. I use unstable core, which I want to level up. I need to finish leveling up, but it's basically a haunting curse. Like you have a curse just like the sorcerer, and people don't realize when this is on. You can't block it. You can't do anything about it. So you're going to take that damage. Inner light, obviously for more max magicka and crit, and then Jesus beam because it's the best execute in the game. On this one, I use the shooting star, and I will combo this. I will place unstable core on. I will call this down, and while it's on the way, I will toppling charge, which will knock them off balance. And this will hit, this will go off, and if there's anything left, I can basically just execute. But most of the time, that's a one hit. That's an instant kill right there. These are my unbuffed stats. Like I was saying, my health would be a little bit lower, and my magic would probably be 2 or 3k higher. Like it would change a little bit. You're still gonna have like 27k health in PvP, and you should have about like 36 to 38k max magicka, depending on your race and how you decide to set it up. The reason that I am a Argonian is because of the Argonian passive, and that combos well with Clever Alchemist. Now, if you don't know what Clever Alchemist does, whenever you drink a potion, you get 638 weapon or spell damage for 15 seconds. Now, that's the longest weapon and spell damage buff in the game and the highest number. And when you are an Argonian, when you get all of your shit back. So not only does it heal you all the way, give you magic and stamina, huge buff to your damage. I mean, it's pretty crazy. So unbuffed stats, you know, we're not worried about regen for the most part because we're doing potions. I have 2491 crit resist. That is really high. And if you look here, 7k spell pen, and that is with heavy armor. If I had light armor, it'd be 12, but 7k, that is really good with light armor. Now, when we sit here and do this buff, our defense is 21 and 18. It's pretty good. I mean, that makes you pretty tanky. And if you're a Breton, you're going to be close to 30 spell resistance, 30k. So this makes you really, really tanky. And if you look at my spell damage, it's pretty up there. I'm not buffed at all. I'll show you where that goes in a second. But Mundus-wise, I'm using the Apprentice just to get as much spell damage as possible, just so I can hit real hard. Your max magicka is going to be a lot higher when I actually put my magic enchants on here instead of health, so I'll have close to 40k, 38,000 plus a good amount, so I will be just fine. So let's see, if I hit here, I'm going to drop this, I'm going to drink my potion, so I have 4303 spell damage when I'm completely buffed. 21, 18, 7, 2491, 4303 spell damage. That is a lot of spell damage. I'm not using Kina, any of those that they usually do to buff to get that. I get that anytime I drink a potion. And if you think about it, you're going to be drinking quite a few potions, especially if you're an Argonian. It just synergizes so well. Argonian synergizes with Clever Alchemist fantastic. Um, really strong build, really strong, and you're very tanky. And you've got the damage. So, uh, how I run this is I'm always on my resto bar, like I said. Um, someone shows up instantly, degeneration, which I run degeneration because of the heavy attacks that I do to regain magic, also heals me. Um, there's a 20% chance or 15% chance to heal you for 105% of the damage caused. So it's kind of like a little breath of life. It happens quite often since I do heavy attack quite a bit. So degeneration into Vampire's Bane. Drop your AoEs. You always want people to fight in this circle because they're going to be taking more damage and you're going to be able to heal more. You know what I mean? Make them come to you. Don't play their games. And while you're in this circle too, Nightblades can't stay in stealth because they're taking damage. So this stops this whole stealth crap. Okay? Once you do that, you're going to swap bars. Drink your potion. Okay? Drink your potion. Get that huge buff. All right? Drop an unstable core on them. Okay? I've had this hit for over 10k. All right? Drop unstable core, toppling charge into them, do a sweep if you need to. If they're at 25% health, this will kill them. Usually they're at 25% health. Don't even add this monster smack to them. Just, you hit them with here, you throw your dot on, another unstoppable thing, jump in, do one sweep if you need it, and then go ahead and hit them with the Jesus beam. They're done. You know what I mean? This is a very strong build. Yes, if you did it in light armor, you would have 4k more spell pen, which would take you up to about 12. Everything would cost a lot less, so you would have a little bit more sustained. But if you play properly and weave your heavy attacks, swap back, make sure you keep your magic up, you got to remember with having the Jesus beam, you can drop someone at any point. Once they get low, they're done. You know what I mean? So don't be afraid to heavy resto. I mean, drop these dots on them and this unstable core, and then heavy resto. I mean, they're gonna take a lot of damage just from that. You know what I mean? There's a lot of ways to play. You don't have to go balls to the wall, but if you decide to, you've got 4,300 spell damage to use. I don't have enchants on here yet. I would do one that would do the 300 more spell damage. That would put me at 4608. And then I would do maybe a Daedric. I think the Daedric one does like 7k or something like that because everybody wants to be a vampire or a werewolf right now, and I am neither. I'm not a vampire or a werewolf. I don't find them necessary at all. So you gotta think. There's another 7k that's gonna come out of there. 300 more weapon damage. I mean, that's gonna put me at some ridiculous numbers. It's toppling close to 5k. Now, if you think about it, if we go into here and look at our armor, okay, heavy armor, wrath. All right, you get 10 spell damage like per hit, and it can stack 20 times. So that's 200 more. So with that 3, that's 500. So I'm at 4908. 44,908 spell damage is what I can get with this build. Now, my jabs right now, without adding that in there, are hitting for like 8k in PvP. So if you add that together and they all crit, and you have a we're not even talking about your what is this shit that pops off? Adric Spear, where it does 4k extra magic damage or burning light ability. We're not even talking about that. But I mean, we're talking 10k sweeps in PvP, especially if they're in light armor, because you have 7k pen. If you're going to get someone who's in light armor and you are going to absolutely obliterate them. and then you have the tankiness to fight off whatever comes your way. 2100, there are tanks that run 2100, 21,000. You know what I mean? It's amazing. I hope you guys really enjoy this build. I've played a lot of Magic Templar. Magic Templar and Magic DK are my two best. Um, if there's any more build videos that you want to see, if you want to see some of my early gameplay on Templar when I was on Xbox, I have a lot of those videos saved where I did a lot of 1vx, like 1v5s, 1v6s. A lot of dueling back in the day when dueling actually was a thing, when there wasn't all these crappy proc sets. I have a lot of those videos. So if there's something you guys like to see, please put it in the comments. It really helps with getting the videos out that you guys want to watch. And comment too. Comment, subscribe. Subscribing helps. It motivates YouTube people to put more videos out, and then commenting really, I want to get really involved with the community and different things like that. So if you send something, if I'm at work or I'm at home or whatever, I will answer um, whatever you put down into the comments and try to help you guys out any way I can. Um, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, like, subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.